Mga higala, kumusta? Welcome to another episode of the Chyrel Macale Cariaga Show. And we are live at UHF Digital Terrestrial Television Channel 51. And we're also live at Parasat Jade Cable TV, that is Channel 27, 28, and 29. And we're also live at DEARBC Cable TV Analog Channel 19, Digital Channel 2. And of course, we're also live at our Facebook page, Live Jao TV 51_official. And of course, our YouTube channel, Jao TV 51_official. And Jao TV is the first digital TV in Northern Mindanao. Technical Education and Skills Development Authority provides direction, policies, programs, and standards towards quality technical education and skills development. They believe in demonstrated competence, institutional integrity, personal commitment, and deep sense of nationalism. They measure their worth by the satisfaction of the customers they serve. On August 25, TESDA celebrates its 28th anniversary, bringing the World Cafe of Opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on the studio today the Regional Director for TESDA-10, Attorney Ashary Banto. Sir, good morning to you, finally.
Finally, ma'am, good morning, Ma'am Chyrel, and good morning to the listeners of Jao TV.
Yes, and of course, thank you very much to all of our televiewers, to all the 80 barangays in Cagayan de Oro City and 24 municipalities of Misamis Oriental, and 2 component cities, that is Hingoog City and of course El Salvador City. So thank you very much to all of our televiewers today. So very exciting, and this year, we're always very pleased to have TESDA on our side because, you know, Jao TV is actually an ally to the government, wherein we give the chance to give information to the public that the government is at work. So now we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. So, sir, tell us more about what is happening for the World Cafe of Opportunities on August 24 and 25.
Actually, as you may know, August is really the month of celebration for TESDA.
Yes.
In fact, it's at the anniversary, it's the 28th anniversary. For this year, we will be once again conducting the World Cafe of Opportunities for the as part of our celebrations for the National Techbook Day.
Right.
The Republic Act 10970 actually mandates us to conduct the National TVET Enrollment Day also.
Right.
It would be an opportunity for those who will be interested in enrolling or taking up TESDA courses.
Right.
So what will happen is that we will be conducting an event wherein all our training institutions will be participating. Yes, and then students or potential students would can go there and have themselves assessed. So that they can determine or they can choose the preferred course for TESDA. Our TESDA courses, we will be assisting them, of course. Of course, there will be eligibility requirements in the sense that we still have to look into their income capacity because after all, TESDA is really into the scholarship programs. It will be the scholarship programs that will be showcased there really. No, and then we have the age requirement and so on and so forth. But basically, those are minimal requirements naman in order to really afford everybody to join and enroll in TVET courses. That will be in August 24.
Right. What's going to happen on the 25th?
On the 25th, it's a continuation of that celebration, the World Cafe of Opportunities. This time, we would be giving a chance, an opportunity, no, at the very least for all our TVET graduates, especially for those who are already certified, meaning to say that they have the national certificates, national institutes. That will be a chance for them to get employed.
Right.
Because for the World Cafe of Opportunities, we have invited our partners in the industries, companies who will be needing certified workers.
Right.
When you talk of certified workers, Ma'am Chyrel, alam mo naman, isang agency lang yan. It's TESDA who does that. No? So there will be there for at least for Misamis Oriental. But this will be celebrated all over, nationwide and the entire Northern Mindanao. No? But for Misamis Oriental in Cagayan de Oro, we will be doing this at Limkitcay, the event center, the second floor of Limkitcay. So, like all applicants for employment, they have to prepare themselves. Siyempre, they have to look presentable. They have to bring,
professional.
Yes, of course. They have to bring their credentials, their portfolio, their biodata, and most importantly, themselves, no?
Their confidence, they have to bring that up, yes.
And then the national certificate, because that will be one of the credentials that these prospective employers will be looking. No?
On the second date, this is like an opportunity for everyone to really give their chance to showcase their talents and, of course, their skills. And I think for myself, and I've been in the media for almost 30 years, and from all of the agencies, I think, and the departments in the government, I would say that TESDA is the most working among the agency, because, you know, we stand to the word that TESDA abot lahat. We actually go reach out to all of the unreachables, especially of those, the far-flung areas that we cannot reach beyond the capacity of anyone to go to school, but we actually go there because that is our mandate under EO 70. So it is such an opportunity for all of us to you know, explore and give ourselves a chance, and you giving the opportunities to everybody in equality. Be there in any gender, but I think there's an age requirement, sir. Is it 15? And
15 at least.
15 at least. And out of school youth is actually also given this opportunity to go. And then some of those that are in an age wherein it's already, you know, even if you're already at the age of 50 or 50 above, you still have the opportunity to be assessed,
yes,
for you to have the national certificate. Now, before RD, we were just so keen and anal about what did you finish in college. That's always like the question of the employer now. When you finish school, they always ask, what is your skill? So medyo nabalina karon ang world, no? Because skill is the most important thing now when you go to employment. Because even if you're a graduate of 4-year course, but the thing is, do you have a national certificate? Exactly. National certificate is your ID and, of course, your ticket for your opportunity in the world. Now, all these opportunities that we have being an NCT holder competes with the world market. So that's how we prepare them. That's why it's called competency, because we compete in the world. So, RD, we know that we're very pleased. It's 28 years in the service of TESDA, and I think I've heard from, you know, a good grapevine in Malacanang that it's going to be already a department soon. So it's going to be institutionalized, and it's not going to be just an agency, but it's going to be an institutionalized. So RD, we have a new secretary for TESDA. Yes. So we would like to know him if he comes, meet and greet with the media, so that we will able to know him, how he is and how he's capable of running TESDA, because TESDA is a very important department of the government. So what is the newest update, and of course the mandate and the directives of the secretary?
Allow me to just share, Ma'am Chyrel, no, on the new secretary, from what I know of him. Well, he is Attorney Danilo Cruz, our new Director General, of course, with the rank of Secretary. He's definitely not new to government, because he is a long time Undersecretary of the Department of Labor and Employment.
Wow, okay.
Likewise, he's also not new or not stranger to TESDA, because he used to sit as one of the TESDA board, or representing the DOLE. He used to represent the Secretary of DOLE.
So Board of Director is one of the Board of Directors.
He's always there. He's very familiar with how TESDA works. But of course, when he assumed the leadership, TESDA, he said that he needed to learn more things, no, on TESDA. So when he came in, one of the things that he really looked into is more on the operations and the administration. Meaning to say, there were things that the previous administration were centralized. There were some of the functions which are centralized in the office. So that's what he did. He wanted decentralization. Because he believes that decentralization...
The autonomy.
Yes po. Good result to efficiency of the part of the, especially the regional offices who are doing the implementation. Kasi dati po, the scholarship programs, the approval of the qualification maps
should come from the central office.
Should come from the central office. They will approve it, and up to the issues on operations on appointments. So those things he wanted decentralized, and of course there have been policies na he issued already. So I think as a regional director also, that would greatly benefit the operations. Because just imagine, when you want to implement a program subsidized through the scholarship. of course, you would want it to be as soon as possible.
Right.
That's how we do things in
We don't
government.
have to wait.
Exactly, ma'am.
And then the students are actually very anxious for that scholarship.
Yes, oo. And we didn't want to take up so much time, especially in the approval. So, by doing the decentralization, we are hoping that it will make things faster. To the benefit of the scholars.
Yes.
To the benefit of the scholars. Decentralization does not mean greater power to the artists. I do not believe that it would really result to efficiency on the part of the
government.
I
agree, because through that transaction, it's how we ease doing business.
Exactly,
and the transactions are more faster. And that was the main goal of the Duterte administration. The ease of doing business, but having the centralization actually delays the transaction because the approval has come from the secretaries in the central office, and it takes time to transact. Imagine how many regions do you have to cater to in just a span of a year. And then you, as a regional director, in every region, you have your own budget to utilize. And it has to be approved with the central office. And the utilization will take some time to implement it because there is a control in the national government. And I understand that. Transaction is delayed because we have to channel to a lot of process and protocols. And that is beyond. So that's why I've always been saying that through any department of the government, it only takes about a political will and leadership to take a smooth transition and, of course, a smooth transaction of the government, programs. Now, I'm very pleased to hear that, and that is one of the best things that everybody should understand now that is within the autonomy now. So we're very glad, sir, that I really hope that you'll still stay as the regional director.
I really hope so, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, you're very correct, in your observations on the decentralization. On the policy side also, we know that since the secretary came from the Department of Labor, as you may know, during the past, TESDA is with DTI, at least for policy and coordination
under
purposes.
DTI, yes.
Right now, we are looking at going to DOLE. For policy and coordination. Not necessarily under administrative supervision of DOLE, but at least insofar as policy and coordination. So the immediate impact of that, or the immediate consequence, would be that our training programs would have to anchor on the programs of DOLE.
Oh, so, my God. So why did the TESDA did not think about that? And I was really like thinking, why would DTI control TESDA? You know what? This is what we call the power of linkages. And I believe in the power of linkages. Why? Because DOLE actually controls the power source and the workforce of the region. And this agency actually can man and give employment to all of our, give the opportunity to all of our workforce now. Being that TESDA, also gives the skill to the people, and then the linkages is easier, which is a very bright idea. Yes. So this is really great, and I'm very excited to meet the secretary if he comes, so that we will be able to give them the opportunity to actually share, the programs. Because of the last year, there were not few invitations from the media. So I was wondering why. I know that we do have a press corps, but I think we do have to have a re-election because through the pandemic times, there was really no movement with the media. So I think this year, I think we have to move forward, that there should be a leadership in the media department, so that we will be able to really give the information drive faster and efficient if you have some information more. So if we have like somebody to disseminate the information, we'll have one group we're in, we could actually give them the information and just we can actually just give them the greatest opportunity. So very well said, RD, and we're very excited about this because TESDA has been helping the people, and we like that. And how far are we in the implementation of the EO70 now?
In the EO70, that's the anti-insurgency program of the government. Basically, we are very happy because the administration of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos has decided to adopt that, to adopt that program of the government because so much has been done actually.
Right.
TESDA which sits as the chairman of one of the biggest cluster, if not the biggest cluster,
yes,
the poverty reduction, livelihood, and employment,
yes,
has done so much already. Of course,
correct,
that's in convergence of the other government
correct,
agencies and the private sector, and we would want that to continue.
yes.
However, we also acknowledge some of the limitations that we encountered in the implementation of the EU-70.
Yes.
Number one, for example, in my personal belief, because we are not. You mentioned it.
Nobody's perfect.
You're not. You're mentioning earlier about
yes,
one thing. Also, you're mentioning earlier that we have yet to become a department.
Yes, 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 yes.
It is quite difficult, or it is quite challenging for an agency or for an authority, for example, TESDA, to head a cluster composed of different departments.
Correct.
I
understand that.
You can see it's a question of cloud probably and resources. So maybe we try to revisit that. Give the chairmanship to the departments, no? So they can do well, probably DOLE, because poverty reduction, livelihood, and employment, that's exactly the mandate of DOLE also.
Correct.
But having said that, TESDA naman is with the mantra TESDA but lahat, we are willing to go everywhere, basically,
yes,
essentially. Our colleagues, Alex, for example, has done a lot of things. Even si Philip, no, your son Philip, he's little by little contributing so much with what we are doing for the anti-insurgency programs of
thank you, RD. Thank
for
you,
TESDA. So that's what we are hoping to continue.
Yes,
we hope that this administration will pour in the same amount of resources and commitment, just like the previous administration did, because we really have done so well. And I think the anti-insurgency, as you may have noticed, has dwindled down to a greater extent.
I should know because, all of the surrenders, I'm always there because, I actually, I'm a war reporter, so the AFP and the NICA actually coordinates with me. So whenever there are surrenderies, I usually come and visit them and, interview them. So this is really an appalling, resounding, actually a success to all the agencies involved, because this is a working coordination. So we're talking about the cooperation of NICA, the AFP, the PNP, and agencies of DSWD, DOLE, and of course, this is a composition of this group we're in. The surrenders are on success level because with the ECLIP that they actually give the opportunities to the livelihood to the surrenderies, and of course the skills training that we provide. And I was very pleased, RD, thank you very much for giving Philip the opportunity when we had the surrendered the CTGs at the PNP, and we went to the national news, and I was very pleased about that because I think you were on a travel, I think, in Luzon at that time, and we're not there. You were not available, but just getting to the wherein we give opportunities to people and surrender their arms because they are tired, fighting for a cause that I think they don't think is necessary for them, especially that they have a family to feed and they have a family to take care of. So TESDA has been a reliable department for that. So so far, RDs, with the span of your leadership since 2 years ago, I think.
Less than 2 years ago.
Less than 2 years ago. So we're very glad that you became the regional director of TESDA because you have the heart and the commitment to really help people succeed on their
Thank you, ma'am.
yes.
Thank you so much.
So, Sir RD, what now in the ways forward now that we know that we are trying to move forward? What are the new directives of the new secretary now?
Secretary Attorney Danilo Cruz, being an expert on employment, I think it's safe to assume that he's an expert in employment. He's been with the DOLE for a long time already. He's a technocrat by sense of the word. I would believe that that's the direction we are going. In fact, the policies, the issuances that the Secretary has issued so far at this point in his administration is geared towards real employment, skills for employment. So having said that, most of our directors on the ground, including me, we really have to engage TESDA with the industry partners.
Right.
No, with the industry partners, we have to study the labor market reports. We have to do our assignments, no,
right.
To ensure that not only do we train in terms of quantity,
right.
but we train so that they will really be employed.
Yes.
WCO is one of the platforms that we can
right.
really jumpstart into this directive, no.
Quantity and of course training for quantity and quality. At
Exactly
the same
po.
time.
Exactly po. That will be what the secretary will be expecting from us.
Okay.
No, he would need to see the training institutions providing or establishing employment facilitation or partnership with the industries.
Right.
Or at the very least, an exposure for trainees in the industry. So by the time that they will be finding employment, they're already industry graded. Or
right.
to say they have already exposure with
yes.
how the industry works.
Yes, right.
So take for example, if you allow me to make an example, Mama,
sure,
to establish
sure,
the context.
Sure.
In the automotive sector, no, we have Toyota
yes.
as partners of the PO Misamis Oriental.
Yes, yes.
And we have also Kia. We know that they belong to the same sector, automotive yan. But we also have to acknowledge na iba yung culture nila.
Correct.
Toyota has a different working culture.
Yes.
Kia has a
yes.
different working
yes.
culture. Nissan and so on and so forth.
Oh, yes.
So, yung employment requirements sila might not be the same.
Right.
Although they might be requiring one NC for an
yes.
automotive, but still, there are some nitty-gritties to the requirements that may be different from that of each other.
Are we talking about specialization?
It's sort of a specialization, so that's what we want to achieve. That's what we want to require now is for our trainees to have really exposure in this industry.
Right.
So we have to do our assignment. We have to get in touch with the industry boards, even the local chamber of commerce natin.
Yes.
We have to tap them. We have to seek their guidance and
yes.
advice on this one to really achieve that employment.
Yes.
Na pag si bata, si Juan de la Cruz nakapagtapos, finish the TESDA course on automotive, may NC na. Nag-apply, Toyota for example or any other automotive company will say na you're enough already. Aside from your competencies, you have the necessary values, no, working values and working ethics for you to be our prospective employee. No, kasi what is happening right now is our companies are saying na kulang pa. You need upskilling.
Okay.
Need upskilling.
Well, thank you very much for discussing that, RD. That is very sensitive, but I think it's very educational. You know why? Because, I mean, every department, there's always a room to grow. Yeah. And that's why we have to give the opportunity for us to learn more about the industry. Because now, the industry now is digital. And aside from that, it's already upgraded. And there are so many technologies now being applied that TESDA does not have not applied yet. So I think we have to broaden our minds in terms of our trainers to be more efficient. How? We need to train them in a facility wherein it's already upgraded
exactly.
with this new technologies applied for automotive, because we cannot just apply the past. That's why it's very clear to our understanding that some, like for example, if I always say in this constitution, there are some constitutional or laws that are not available or not applied today because it doesn't need to, because we're on the new age. So that's why we need the room to grow, and you have the opportunity. Testers have to learn more about it. And if you do want to have that opportunity, the president of Toyota is a good friend of mine, which is Betty Lou is actually a good friend, and she owns a lot of Toyotas here, especially on the servicing side. I could actually introduce you to Miss Betty Lou, which is the owner of Toyota. This is a very big business when it comes to servicing. So if you need my help, we can actually just contact Ms. Betty Lou, the owner, so that we could have this linkage. This is a great opportunity for all of you, and it's just about connection. It's just about helping out the agency. And that's why I said, why do we have, nga no ato namang kontraho ng gobyerno? Why do we have to do that? I mean, the media itself is a big tool to help and aid the government to implement its program. Why do you have to attack them? That's why I became an ally to the government, because I need to give the government a chance to give their programs to the people, and that is our job. to do the information, and we can work hand in hand, media and the agency all at the same time.
I look forward to that.
Sure. Sure, sir. Anytime I can just call Miss Betty Lou.
Your
She's a very good
family
friend.
naman,
Yes.
essentially. Your TESDA family.
Yes. It was such an opportunity for me, leading TESDA for almost about 2 years and a half, becoming a president of the TESDA Press Corps. So it was so efficient, and I love working with TESDA. It's just that I think TESDA has the biggest heart and the mission to really help the people and eradicate poverty on the side. So, RD, let's go forward with our plans, because there are so many questions asking if there are age brackets. Yes, but the thing is, how do we cascade our information we're in, maybe to cascade in every municipality we're in? They will be given a chance for all of those, in the age bracket of 40 and above, where they wanted to have an assessment. Because some of the issues was brought to me that it's very difficult to contact, have a TESDA schedule for the assessment, because it has to have a group. So if I was 41 years old or 42 years old, and I'm a graduate of a certain course, and I wanted to be assessed, because I'm confident already that I could pass the NC2. So how are we going to challenge TESDA for that, the efficiency of giving the NC2s to all of our municipalities all over the region?
That's actually a very interesting question. Let me just start with the fact that skills training is not exclusively the mandate of TESDA.
Yes.
We know that because DA, DTI, DOLE, they can conduct skills training.
Yes.
However, assessment and certification that's the strict mandate of TESDA. That belongs to TESDA.
Yes, that's right.
And so therefore, it is our responsibility to establish ample number of assessment infrastructures.
Yes, right.
Meaning to say, ample number of pool of assessors and assessment centers. That's what we have been doing. I acknowledge the limitation of establishing an assessment center because it's difficult. It would require resources.
Okay.
Ang assessor would also require resources because of the capability building, of the capability building of the assessor. You have to possess certain credentials and training before you can become an assessor.
Right.
So yun po, that's really the challenge. That's really the challenge. The responsibilities with the RD, binigay po yan ng former secretary to the RD because now, kayong mga RD, kayong countable dyan whenever there's a problem with assessment in your area. So what I've been doing is, well, you go back to the rules. Every assessor must be given an opportunity to assess. Because number one, the issue there is hindi lahat ng assessor nabibigyan ng chance. Mayroong natitingga. So that's the problem. It's a question of loading. Dapat ma-loading. And second, of course, we need also to check the credentials of the assessor. Sometimes kasi expired.
Right.
And third, the assessment center. All areas, sabi mo nga, all areas, at least the municipalities which is quite far from Cagayan de Oro, for example, they have to have assessment centers there because we cannot unfortunately require our students, our graduates to go to Cagayan de Oro, travel just to have that assessment and have that certification.
Yes, Arnie, but we have, I understand that in every municipality we have CTECs.
Yes, po.
So the CTECs are actually one of our arm
Yes,
in implementing this program. So maybe it is just a matter of coordination and proper coordination with the CTECs for us to be able to understand the issues in every municipality.
Yes, po. That is why yung CTEC, I am really imploring them to be not only CTEC but hold more hats, wear more hats, become trainers and assessors because they can really help us. With the devolution, we've heard of the devolution. Actually, a part of TESDA function is supposed to be devolved to the LGU.
Right.
The community-based training, that's supposed to be devolved to the LGU because of the Mandanas-Garcia ruling. We acknowledge the limitation because hindi pa ready talaga yung some of the LGUs. I've been doing my rounds. Meron talagang, there are limitations as of this time. Hindi pa nila, they cannot really establish the training center. So TESDA has to, and the private training institutions has to do that. So going by that effort right now, I am asking in every forum, in every opportunity that I get with our private implementers, including the private sector for that matter, yung mga private TVs natin, is that if you offer a certain qualification, then you must have a corresponding assessment center.
Correct. You should not be qualified unless you have an assessment center.
Exactly, ma'am. So for example,
and you don't have to rely. You don't have to rely to TESDA.
No.
If you're a private institution, you have to have a ready assessment center
exactly,
for that.
Exactly po. So for example, you're operating at Initaw. Di ba? Alanganin sa Initaw, Initaw Cagayan de Oro.
Right,
so,
it's too far.
di ba, ma'am?
The traveling and
distance,
time effort, yeah.
Ang bata is kawawa. So,
exhausted na.
So if you're offering, for example, SMAW, then at least have an assessment center.
Right.
So that you can train and you can assess. And the only requirement lang naman there is the trainer is not the assessor.
Right.
Di ba?
Yes,
the trainer is not the assessor. So that's what I've been telling them. You help us certify because that's our mandate. If private TVI ka, you are TESDA. So if you are TESDA, our mandate is assessment and certification. It's not even training.
Right,
training is not our mandate.
I agree.
So that's what we should be doing. I am hoping that I get that message across really. I'm talking to one good thing about our organization of TVIs here is they are really very organized.
Right.
Headed, of course, by Lorimer Angeles, and then, of course, Dr. Marty. And they're always with me, in my discussions. So we're hoping that that's what we are trying to accomplish.
Okay, RD, I think I'm very excited about this. I think the reason why everybody's so excited because our TVIs will be given more opportunities. Because I know that there were some issues given and thrown to TESDA that the scholarship are being controlled, aside from the budget that we have to rely from the central office. So they're not given the equal opportunities. So I think now the autonomy goes to the regions, so the regional director has the power now. Maraki na trabaho mo, sir.
Ma'am Chyrel, more than the power, responsibility.
Responsibility. But they say the power comes with responsibility, right?
To be honest with you, nakakatakot siya. Because you're dealing with public money.
Yes.
When we say equitable distribution, it's very easy to say that. But during the implementation, there are things that you have to
balance.
You have to balance.
You have to weigh. Yes.
What may be fair to you might necessarily be fair to the others.
Yes.
That is the reason why we really have to balance nga, sabi mo, ma'am. We have to have a formula, and we have to have a criterion. We have to have a policy.
I think, for my suggestion, I think the scholarship would only go to the percentage of the enrollees per year. Like, for example, if you have, within the span of 3 years, you have to assess the data that how many enrollees does this kind of TVI, receive. Because if it has more scholarship, being entertained, or some qualifications that are not available in other TVIs, that's the reason why, like SMNI, how do you call this? The one in with my friend Irene Floro.
I think it's SMI.
SMI, yes. SMI is one of the biggest, I think, in the region, who actually caters to a lot of technical courses. So I think in that sense, you should capacitate also to give them more scholarship because of the capacity that they can cater to the scholarships.
Absorptive capacity is one that we are really looking, because absorptive capacity would mean they have big infrastructure, they have more trainers, so they can accommodate more. Pero gusto ko lang dagdagan din, Ma'am Chyrel, sana in the advent of a new administration going to employment, we will prioritize also, hopefully, for scholarship implementation and funding, TVIs that can establish a good employment facilitation.
Right. And then the linkages, you should empower them. You should empower them that they're already prepared, because that will challenge the TVIs. Now, RD, some issues thrown because of the central office, protocol that it has to come from them within the approval of the secretary. So this creates a lot of big, how do you call this? A choke on because if it's like a blood flow, if the nerve is actually being controlled, the blood will not flow. So that's exactly what happened because of the central office, monitoring everything, with the flow. Now, with your leadership, like for example, we only have limited training centers in a region under the TESDA, and we have a lot of TVIs. I think with the strength that we're going to give them, we can empower them now. Because because before we understood that some of the private institutions cannot go out their way,
the mobile training
programs, because it has to be governed or managed by the training centers under the TESDA. So are we going to change that now? Shall we empower them because they have more access? And aside from that, they can actually have a lot of mobile access to this municipalities. And this one big thing, I know that the explanation was because we wanted like the TVIs, our training centers to really work for the municipalities, but we have limited capacities. And I think the secretary from before did not even, I didn't say that overlook, but maybe did not even give the opportunities to the TVIs to really work on the ground, because that is our power, that is our arm. And if you will work for us, kasi RD, as I say, you have to offload it, because if you're going to load it, your people will be very wary, di ba? Kapuyan na kayo sila because they've been carrying so much responsibility. Sa isa lang ka-focal, daghan na kayo in 1,000. How do you cater that in a day? So you have to offload it. So this responsibility, especially with the scholarship, if you're going to give them equally to all the TVIs, then less pain and less hard, and then you will monitor them anyway, and you will know that what are they doing, and you will have kasi you'll have the data naman to monitor if how many is the scholarship being utilized or not, and if not, then you will give the sanction that you should not waste government's money. You have to find students, and we can enable them to do that.
Exactly. You're right, ma'am. You're right. At the end of the day, it's still the RD's responsibility. Whoever implements, private or TTI, it's still the RD's responsibility. RD talagang mananagot yan. Nobody else, not even the PD. PD ka nun. Anyway, allow me to just establish the context, ma'am, why there was a moratorium on mobile training. No? In fairness to the former secretary, Secretary Isidro La Peña, when he came in, from his perspective, because a secretary was able to see things on the ground. He was really a walking secretary. Nagbi-visit siya sa mga sa regions talaga.
And he observes also.
So one of the things that he was really able to observe and he was alarmed with is the issues on the implementation of the scholarship programs. There were issues on ghost training. Of course, it's not really on Region 10, but some other regions. Fortunately,
and we accept that, because that's really real, and that's not even it's not even just an issue. It's really real. It's really happening.
Exactly. So he issued the policy moratorium, allowing only the TTIs or the TESDA operated schools to do the moratorium. Now it has come to, I would like to this is my belief, because I think the current secretary is also doing the same, they're trying to look at the policy. They might be lifting that moratorium. It has come to a time wherein, sabi mo nga, we need to offload, because so much has to be done.
You have to offload. You cannot just carry the burden in all of our shoulders, because it's gonna stress out our employees, and we have limited employees in our region. We cannot not to incapacitate them, but we have to offload their responsibilities also.
You were mentioning EU70.
Yes.
I was telling my fellow artists, there was one occasion. The EU70, a lot can be done in the EU70 if you involve the private sectors.
Correct.
Because there are many private sectors, private TVIs who are much willing.
Yes.
And some of them know the
area
better than us.
Better than you.
Exactly. So why not? You and me, we are both hopeful that this administration will lift the moratorium. I think they're going to do that very soon, and once that will be lifted, then I think some things will improve.
Yes,
that's what I can assure.
I am willing to host for the Tibet conference if you allow me to
Thank you.
moderate and facilitate it, because there will be a democracy that will happen, because the last time there were a lot of angry TVIs, you know, express their opinions and all that, and they're actually entitled to their own opinions and express their own issues, and we have to give them a chance to voice out their problems and their issues.
Good thing I'm friends with most of them.
Yes, and that is one of the best thing, because you have to befriend them, because you know why? Because they know the issues inside, and then they also know for you, RD, to monitor who is really functioning as TVIs now, and who are honest, because they know, they will really know. And then of course on the ground, I think we also have to empower our employees and our monitoring team to just really be on the lookout of who's not doing, you know, the right thing, or the corruption that's inside within the I think it can be controlled. I mean, with your leadership, of course, we know that, and we just have to give them, you know, the chance to be honest, because I think that's the best policy that we need to give them. You know, exercising these policies where honesty is really clear. If they're more honest and they're more honest about what they're doing, the more scholarship they will receive. Because if they're dishonest, and if you know that they're dishonest, then you will not give them another chance. You will advise them to close. I mean, that's very easy for an RD to say that you're not functioning, this and that, because you have violated this. We all have protocols and, of course, circulars that I think they also share and they know. And if they violate those rules, it's all up to you. You have the power and the pen to actually give them, you know, the last word that you're not going to operate anymore because you've been dishonest about this. And we have monitoring teams that can go and actually monitor their work. Compliance audit is there. So I think we have to empower that in this sense right now, because we're opening the world now. Now bigger opportunities, better communications that's happening now, because now all of the TVIs can actually come to you directly, diba? And then the president can actually have a conversation with you. RD, there is a complaint. RD, there is somebody that, you know, needs some help. And I think this, wala naman lahat siguro, RD, na hindi madadaan sa mabuting pag-uusapan. So I think we can actually come up with a good idea collectively if we just listen to them. Kasi a good leader, they say, RD, if you're a good speaker, you're also a good listener. So I think the leadership comes from that, when you listen to the people and really, you know, dissect and really try to understand the problem itself, and they know better. So I think with your leadership, RD, it's going to be one of the big. We're looking forward that you're going to be more, more aggressive on this part, because I know that a lot of the TVIs now are very confident in your leadership. In fact, they call me once in a while, you know, like you can listen to them and you actually go with them. You're very democratic with them, which is a good thing. So now that we are about to go forward, RD, let's try to assure the people that what TESDA can do for the people.
Yeah, you know, TESDA programs has become super pervasive in the lives of the Filipinos.
Yes,
diba?
yes.
In fact, we cater to almost everybody.
Yes.
Not only the out-of-school youth,
yes,
the senior citizens.
Regardless of the gender.
Regardless of the gender. Even professionals.
Even professionals, yes.
That's the essence of TESDA Butlahak.
Yes.
But more than that, I think TESDA will only be successful if the people will continue to believe in our programs.
Right.
Meaning to say, you know, in TESDA, we are always trying to find our place under the sun, ma'am, so to speak. So what we are saying is that I hope that people will now realize that TESDA is not only an alternative to bachelor's degree or to formal education, but a very viable option.
Correct.
Look at some of the more successful and highly industrialized countries. Di na ako magpalayo. Sa Singapore, for example.
Yes.
No, look at Singapore. No? The value TVET. So quite importantly that they have
big respect for them.
Yeah, they have big institutions, big schools for TVET. They call it ITE. No, that's TESDA in Singapore. And they have a term there, paper chasing. They do not value so much on degrees, although that's very important.
Yes.
May PhD ka,
But
may
you have to
MA ka.
finish and all that.
And all of that.
You have to
But
have
at the end of the day, people or the employer, the industries and companies, who still would want to look at the evidences.
Right.
That's the national certificate. So that's what we would want to impart to the people.
Right.
If you continue to believe in TESDA, no? Believe in the program of TESDA, because we are here for you.
Yes. RD, for the last time, can you invite them for the World Cafe opportunities before we end the show?
On August 24, 25, join us please, ubanimin ninyo, as we celebrate our National Tech Walk Day through our National TVET Enrollment Day. So, we'll see each other in Limkitkay. All of
second
you,
floor.
Second floor, no? At the event center. All of you are willing or who are interested in enrolling in TVET courses, ato dito libre, no? Libre. And then, the following day, World Cafe opportunities. Para na po to sa mga NC, no? Particularly sa mga TVET graduates, kana NC TESDA graduates. It's a job fair. Please bring your credentials. Join us once again. You can apply. Prepare yourself, because you might know na for all you know, you might be hired on the spot.
Right. Then you will be employed. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, RD, for this opportunity and for this event that you actually have given us the opportunity to guest here on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, to all the municipalities and our televiewers, thank you very much for watching the show. Again, till next Saturday, that's between 9 to 10 in the morning for the Chyrel Macale Cariaga show. Now, remember this: do not ask for what the government can do for you, but always ask what you can do for the government. So let's help fight corruption. This has been your host, Chyrel Macale Cariaga, for the Chyrel Macale Cariaga show. Till next time, have a wonderful day ahead of you.